Hi everyone! I thought today I'd do a getting ready with me makeup video to show you my everyday makeup routine. So I've just primed my face and put a thin layer of foundation on. I use this primer by, I think it's Noid, and I've used quite a few primers in the past and I felt like they haven't really done anything. This is the first one that I feel like it made a difference to my foundation. It says that it's an advanced colourless priming fluid that uses next generation nanoprismatic particles, I think they may have made that word up, to refract light and balance out undesirable hues. Basically, I think it makes your skin look quite glowy and not just flat. So I use this as my primer, and then I've been using the same foundation for years and years and years, maybe over 5 years. I've tried all the trend foundations, all the new ones that come in the market, and I always go back to this foundation. It's by Dior and it's the Forever one, and I use it in shade 020, so it's like the second lightest one. Basically, I have very oily skin, combination skin, and I get that shiny T-zone within maybe an hour or two of applying makeup, and I've tried so many different mattifying makeups and I found that they all end up just becoming super shiny or sliding around, whereas this is the only one that I've found just becomes less shiny. It's still not perfect, but I accept that's probably never going to happen because I seem to produce so much shine all the time. So yes, I've always been using this foundation, but if you have any suggestions of other ones I should try that perhaps I haven't, then let me know. I'm always willing to try new foundations. So the next thing I do in the morning is I apply my eyeshadow. So I'm going to just use a Dior palette, and this one has some different brown colours in and a pinky shade. I think that the colours in here are quite similar to the Naked Palette 3, which I use a lot. But I kind of tend to save that for special occasions. I don't know why, because it's getting quite low and I don't want to use it all up and have to get a new one. So I'm using this one at the moment. So I'm just going to apply a thin layer of the lightest colour, which is this one in the centre. So I'm just going to put this all over my eye just to create a base. I know I should use eyeshadow primer, but I can't be bothered today. So now I'm just going to take the darkest colour, the brown, and I'm just going to apply that in my crease here. I've only used a very tiny bit because it's quite a heavy brown. And now I'm just going to clean my brush a bit and I'm just going to blend it. So I feel like in the past, a lot of the trend was to put the dark colour on the outside and the light colour on the inside, but now that's kind of been flipped a bit by 90 degrees, and I'm finding it's really working for me, is that I put the dark colour in the crease and then I'm going to put the light colour underneath it rather than left and right. It's up and down, if that makes sense to you guys. So if I was getting ready for like a night out or somewhere where I really wanted to take proper time on my makeup, then I would be doing this very differently, using more products, and I like using the sellotape underneath my eye to get like that defined line. If you want to see that, just leave a comment, let me know, and I will do that tutorial as well. Even though it's not really a tutorial because I am not a makeup artist and I kind of just make this stuff up as I go along. So I've used that dark colour now. I'm just going to go ahead and apply the pinky colour here, and I'm going to apply it down here on the bottom of my eyelid. Okay, and then I'm just going to blend a bit more and maybe just use some of the neutral colour up here so that it doesn't look, so it's kind of blends in. And then I'm going to take the white colour and just put it in the corners here of my eye, and the other one. and apply it on the brow bone as well. Okay, eyeshadow done. Time for a drink of tea. Okay, so now I'm going to put some eyeliner on. I'm currently using up a old Dior again eyeliner, which is called Dior Liner. So I just turn it once and let that flow through, and then I'm just going to follow the top there. Just follow the lash line. There we go. And then I will give it a little bit of a flick. Yeah. And then fill in any gap. There we go. Now, I always find this really difficult to do the same on the other side. I'm just not a detail person, and if it was up for me, I'd have someone come and do my makeup for me every day, but I cannot afford that, so I also can't close this eye when I do it. It just won't let me. I don't know why. So I'm very fair, so I get my lashes tinted, like dyed black, every sort of 5-6 weeks, because otherwise they're quite blonde and I don't like them. So there is just an interesting fact for you about my eyelashes. I'd really recommend doing it. Like, I go to the benefit counter in Debenhams and it really doesn't cost that much. I think it's about maybe £20. You do have to sit in the middle of Debenhams with your eyes closed for about 15 minutes, like while it sinks in, but it's actually quite relaxing, and there's not many times when you can be sat in a department store with your eyes closed. So it's quite a surreal experience. So I'm now going to put some eyeliner on my lower lash. This is, I think, just from Boots, a collection one. To be honest with you, I have found that all pencil eyeliners are pretty similar, especially if I'm just using them for the lower lash. So I don't want to go and spend 20 quid on one when I can get it for a couple of pounds from Boots. So all I do is just place it all down below. Just fill that all in, more waterline. I went for years without using under eye liner, but then I found that it has made quite a big difference. So for my mascara, I use this Maybelline one, which has been around since I started using mascara in my teens, and I swear by it. I know loads of people that swear by it. Again, I've tried so many mascaras and I just keep going back to this one. It's inexpensive. I think it's maybe £4, and it just works. And I don't know why other companies can't make ones this good, but I just swear by it and I've always used it. And again, I think if you can get a drugstore one that's a couple of pounds, like, why spend loads of money on a Dior one or a Chanel one or, you know, a designer one? So I just apply lots of layers. I have quite long eyelashes. I've been blessed with long eyelashes, and I just want them all to get coated. I don't put mascara on my under eye because I find that it just smudges almost immediately. My under eyelashes are quite long, so they touch my skin, so it just becomes a nightmare and I get panda eyes. So I do not do that, but by getting them tinted they still have like definition, so it's still, you can still see them. So I think I'd like them to be slightly darker, so I'm just going to go back to my eyeshadow and use a brush that's got a really thin flat tip. This is from Dior, and I'm just going to take the darkest colour and just go back into the crease. Just apply that on both. And then I'm going to blend it. Just staying within that crease area. Okay, so next thing I do is I put concealer under my eyes. So unfortunately, really dark bags under the eyes runs in my family. So I've always had eye bags, whether I'm tired or not. Obviously they get even worse when I am tired. So I've got foundation on now and you can still see them. So I always have to put quite a lot of concealer under my eyes. I love tea so much. Love, 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 love. So I'm going to use this brush from MAC. And this is a Laura Mercier palette. It has a really light concealer and then a skin colored concealer. So you can just mix them to get the shade that you want. So obviously sometimes we get tanned if we're lucky during the summer. So I'm just going to apply this in the shape of a diamond. It's not a diamond, a triangle under my eyes. Like so. On the other side. Okay. And then going to just conceal any blemishes I have and blend that in. Put a bit up here because this is slightly lighter than my foundation, so I'm just going to use it as a bit of a cheeky highlighter and then use some of the darker underneath. Just cover any redness that I've got going on. Again, if I was getting ready for like a big event or whatever and doing my makeup properly, I would use way more concealer and use the different coloured ones. But I'm not, so I'm not going to do that today. Now next I need to do my eyebrows, which I forgot. So I am using a natural collection from Boots eyebrow brush, which has a pencil with the brush on the end. I also have very fair eyebrows, so I dye them myself every week with dark colour, dark brown tint. It takes like 30 seconds, a minute, wash it off in the shower. So all I really have to do is just fill them in during the day. So they're just super fair, super blonde, which just doesn't look good. And I think having eyebrows makes such a huge difference. It frames your face, you know, as the Kardashians have taught us. Big is better. I like to make a point there for my eyebrows, just personal preference. And I go and get them waxed every 3 weeks, again at the benefit counter in Debenhams, Clapham Junction. Again, it's quite cheap and I get my Debenhams beauty points. So once I've filled them in, I'll just use the brush to like take them up. I get them trimmed as well when they wax them, which means that I can turn them up like this without them being like super long. Is it just me, or does every school have that one teacher who has really bushy eyebrows? It must be something to do with teaching. Like you must go for the interview and they're like, I see you have bushy eyebrows, you'll be good for this chemistry job. Or maybe it's just me, I don't know. Okay, so now I'm just going to set all my foundation. So I'm going to use a powder. This is a Dior powder called Dior Skin Nude Air. It's a loose powder. So I'm just going to take a brush. This is a MAC brush. And just apply powder everywhere, because I already see the shine coming. So I'm just going to put loads of powder on. I really like this powder because it doesn't look cakey, it doesn't even look like I have powder on, probably because it gets absorbed by all my oils straight away. But that just seals it all in and mattifies it. Okay, so now I'm just going to finish off by creating a bit of contouring. So I'm going to use a bronzer. I've got a Clinique bronzer, which is on the way out, so I won't show you how horrible it is in here. But I'm basically just going to put this on the holes above my jaw and underneath my cheekbone. So it just goes here, just to create some contouring. And then up at the top, all around the outside, under the chin, and below. Okay, and then I'm just going to put some blusher on so I don't look so pale. I have a Revlon Vivid Bake Blush. Again, I mean, surely all blushers are the same. I mean, please feel free to prove me wrong, but I feel like, why pay 20 quid for a blusher when I can just go to Boots and get this one from Maybelline? So I just smile, pull a funny face, which shows where my apple of my cheek is, and then I brush it out like this. Make me look slightly more alive. And then finally I'm just going to finish off with a bit of highlighter. I'm using the Benefit WhatsApp, and don't apply it like a stick because it will rub all your makeup off, but I just dab some on to my cheekbone and above my eye. Perfect. So that's my makeup routine done for today, my sort of everyday makeup routine. I'm gonna go and get ready to go out now, but let me know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and bye!